Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Tuesday night, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. And I know I mentioned a few weeks back that between now and college football season, I was going to do quarterback rankings for at least the four Power Four conferences. May do the group of fives, I don't know, but at least the Power Four. We already did the ACC and the Big 12, so tonight it's time for the Big 10. You know, before all this realignment stuff, these conferences were easy to keep up with. Now, geography no longer means anything, and numbers no longer mean anything. You know, the SEC has teams that are not in the Southeast. The ACC has teams that are not on the Atlantic coast. The Big 10 is not 10 teams, and the Big 12 is not 12 teams. So this list of Big 10 quarterbacks is 18 quarterbacks deep. Hey there, Austin. Glad to have you here. And of course, this list is my personal opinion, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that's a college football beat writer for some team or some radio station or some TV station or some website somewhere that has the same exact list that I do, but I haven't seen it. So this is my personal list. I am fantastic, Austin. Thank you for asking. Hope you are as well. Number 18, I'm guessing on. It's Maryland's quarterback either way, but I'm guessing it's going to be Justin Martin. But last year their quarterback was Billy Edwards. He is now transferred, and we'll find out where he is on my list coming up here in a few minutes. Hey there, Paxton. Glad to have you here. But they've got really two inexperienced, almost no experienced quarterbacks. So I'm not sure which one will end up being the starter, and they could end up, having one starter. If he struggles, go to the other one. But I'm guessing Justin Martin. I think he's the better of the two. But even if it's the other guy, they're still number 18. Maryland's not very good. Their offense is not very good. And I don't expect either quarterback to put up great numbers. And yes, I did watch it, Austin, but I watched it Sunday afternoon. Number 17 is Drake Lindsay, who is the Minnesota quarterback. You know, Minnesota runs the most basic, boring offense in the history of mankind. They basically run the triple option without running triple option. And I say that because they don't run the triple option, but they are like one of the few teams now that still uses up every second of the play clock on every snap. And unless they fall behind early, they're only going to throw the ball 18, 20 times a game. So no matter who their quarterback is, they're never going to put up great numbers. But because of the system they run, their quarterbacks never turn the ball over much. So, their stats are eye-popping as far as turnovers. But as far as completion percentage and yards, it's never going to be a whole lot. No, Austin, I ain't watched it yet. I ain't been home but 25 minutes. Number 16, Purdue quarterback Malachi Singleton. Now, of course, Purdue has basically a brand new coaching staff and a brand new offense. So I don't expect much out of Malachi Singleton or Purdue this year for that matter. But Singleton has a bright future, but I think he'll put up better numbers than the Maryland quarterback and Drake Lindsey, because Purdue will throw the ball all over the ballpark. Number 15 is the guy that has the best name in college football today and has had it now for about 25 years. Seems like he's been in college now for about 25 years. That's Rutgers quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis. Hey there, Marcus. Glad to have you here on this Tuesday night. Make sure y'all give the video a like and a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Number 15 is Ethan Kaliakmanis. So number 14 is the aforementioned Maryland transfer quarterback Billy Edwards, who is now at Wisconsin. And I think a lot of people are surprised that Luke Fickell has gone to Wisconsin and didn't turn the program around as fast as you thought he would, because we know by now that, Luke Fickell is a great coach, but he's, trying to run a whole new scheme on offense, and that takes time. You can't just change the scheme completely and start winning overnight. It just doesn't happen that way. Number 13 is the SMU transfer quarterback, and he transferred because he lost the job to SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings, who was only a freshman last year, so he knew he wasn't going to play anytime soon if you're the backup to a freshman quarterback who takes his team to basically a top 10 season. That's Preston Stone, who is now the quarterback at Northwestern. Northwestern is one of those programs that seemed like for about 10 to 12 years, they were never great, but they were never terrible. It seemed like they were about a consistent 7 or 8 win team, and about every year they would either beat somebody they had no business beating or, take them down to the wire. But the last couple of years, they've been terrible. Number 12, Michigan State quarterback Aiden Childs. Number 11, DeMond Williams Jr., who's the quarterback at Washington. Now, entering the top 10, we have a quarterback that might finally make the Hawkeye offense worth watching. That is Mark Gronowski, who transferred there from not far up the road from Iowa, South Dakota State. He led South Dakota State to, I believe, 2 national championships. He threw for over 10,000 yards, and I think he ran for almost 2,000 more, and he's finally transferred from South Dakota State to Iowa. So the Iowa offense, because of Mark Gronowski, might actually be decent this year. It seemed like they've had the worst offense in football now for basically the better part of a decade. Number 9, the guy that has caused Miller Moss to transfer to Louisville, that is Jaden Mayava, who is the quarterback at USC. Number 8, the other California team, UCLA, with Nico Iamaleava. Number 7, a guy that is supposed to be a top 5 player in the country. I guess we'll find out if he's as good as advertised. He might make Michigan a pretty good team this year. That's Bryce Underwood. Number 6 is a guy that, I really don't want to put him this high, but I really have to, because, I don't think he's good enough to be top 5, but at the same time, he's got more experience than Underwood, so I'm not going to all of a sudden say Underwood's going to outperform him. And Nico Iamaleava at Tennessee put up good numbers against crappy teams, but against good teams, he was just average. And, Mark Gronowski just transferred to Iowa. So just because he was good at South Dakota State, you assume he's going to be good at Iowa, but you don't know. So number 6 for me is Dylan Raiola. To me, he's just an average quarterback. He's nothing spectacular. He might not make you lose, but he's not going to help you win. He's just an average quarterback. I still think he's too lanky. He needs to put on about 20 pounds. He has the arm strength of a wet noodle. He's just an average player, but since he has more experience than all the guys under him, I'll put him at 6, but I don't expect him to have no phenomenal season. But, Matt Rule's a good enough coach to, work around that to where he doesn't have a lot of turnovers, but his numbers are never eye popping and they never will be. He's too skinny and he has the arm of a wet noodle. Number 5, Indiana quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. Number 4, probably be the next big thing with the Oregon Ducks. Seems like every quarterback they get is a Heisman candidate. That's Dante Moore. Number 3, Illinois quarterback, Luke Altmaier. Number 2 is a guy that really hasn't played much, but if you watch his film, he's eye-popping in every way possible. So I expect him to have a phenomenal season. That's Julian, I ain't saying, who is the Ohio State quarterback. And number 1, if it's not obvious by now after mentioning 18 through 2, the only team I ain't mentioned is the Nittany Lions of Penn State with Drew Allar. Or if you want to be wrong and say Allar, you can say that. But I expect him to have another good season. I almost put Julian Sayin number 1 because I think he's going to be an exceptionally phenomenal quarterback. But, not what you see on film all the time translates to game day. And with Julian Sayin having almost no experience, he's going to have some growing pains. No matter how good he is, he's not going to have an entire season of great football. He's going to throw some bad picks. He's probably going to have some bad fumbles and probably going to take some awful sacks because he hasn't played much. So that's the only thing that kept me from putting Julian Sayin at number 1, but he is number 2 behind Drew Allar. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I once screwed up a joke about infinity. I never heard the end of it. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.